The Cheeseboy 628 Show, starring Cheeseboy 628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy 628 here today giving you an RU tier Wi-Fi battle. And in the top right is my team. You may recognize it being MrFelco's with his Scarf Braviary, Calm Mind, Rest Talk, Spirit Tomb, Physically Defensive Rhyperior, Special Defensive Lantern as my Cleric, Defensive Escavalier, which is actually pretty cool having the Sleep Talk, so it can be nice for Sleep Fodder, and then Defensive Amoonguss, of course, just to get a nice Spore off. Now looking at my opponent's team, he definitely has a mix of NU and RU, and it's definitely pretty bulky. There's not really that many threats, although Galvantula can be annoying. He does have a couple electric types, so they're going to get much use of their Volt Turn shenanigans if my Rhydon goes down, so I have to be wary though, because he could also carry like Grass Knot or Giga Drain or of the sort. But for the most part, I think Braviary can do a ton of damage to his team, so let's see how this battle goes. So I'm going to start right out with my Braviary, as it's very threatening to his team, and I can even U-turn first turn to maybe get some momentum. It turns out he actually brings an Excelgor, so I'm like, okay, sweet, free kill, unless it's sashed. But it has Final Gambit, and is probably max HP of course, and takes me out first turn. So I literally just lost my biggest threat to his team turn 1. Sure, it's a double down, but I'm really just not sure what to do right now. I'm going to bring in my Escav here, and I'm going to go for the Iron Head just to do a nice bit of damage and see how bulky this Golurk is. It does about a third after Lefty, so I'm thinking a couple more hits and it should go down. Turns out it carries the Fire Punch, and this is looking really bad. I was definitely not expecting Fire Punch on Golurk, although fire is definitely necessary in RU, so it definitely makes sense. Now it's about 75% health, and I'm thinking I really have no other choice but to set up with Spirit Tomb right now. So I need to set up some Calm Minds and hope that it can take some physical hits while I'm trying to set up my especially defensive side. So he actually brings in his Clefable now, and I'm kind of worried if it's unaware, because I have seen that before, but Magic Guard is definitely the better option. So I'm really just hoping that's what it is. And he actually goes for the Wish here, and I'm thinking, yes, this is definitely going to be very annoying. But if I can get to +6, Dark Pulse should be able to be a 2 KO, and he'll eventually be stalled out. So that is definitely what I'm hoping right now. I just need to set up with Spirit Tomb as much as possible. Hope we don't get critted, hope I can take a couple physical hits, and that should be fine. He brings in his Sawsbuck, and I'm not really sure what it's going to do to me, seeing as its best move against me is probably Horn Leech. Turns out he does have a Mega Horn, which will do a little more than Horn Leech, and it's Life Orb, and it looks like it's about a 3 KO thankfully, so I am able to rest off next turn, but just hope I just get some nice Sleep Talk rolls. Otherwise this could be potentially really stally. So he goes for the Horn Leech actually, and that's pretty nice because he was losing a bunch of HP from his Life Orb, but I do go for the Dark Pulse here actually, instead of going for the rest, because I'm just hoping that I don't want to get critted or anything of the sort. But now he brings in Golurk, and I really need to hope I can take anything he has. He goes for the EQ, and I live with 3 HP. That is amazing. Good job, Spirit Tomb. Very well trained. Max HP, max defense for the win. Get back to full health. And with some nice Sleep Talk rolls, I should be able to eventually take out this Golurk. So he goes for the EQ. As you can tell, it only does about 100, but it could be some min-max variation. I'm just going to go for the Sleep Talk here. I do get the Calm Mind, so I'm getting nice and powerful, but I need to make sure that this thing doesn't crit me and eventually take me out and such. So hopefully I'll get a Dark Ball soon, because of course it is stab super effective, and I'm just really powerful right now with all these Calm Minds. He's going to go for the EQ again, and it really doesn't look like he's going to take me out next turn. It looks like I can just go for the rest and get my HP back. As you can tell, I went for the Sleep Talk again, got rest, and it's my final turn of being asleep, so this could potentially be a very big stall war, but definitely ending in my favor. This is why you gotta have some setup pokes of your own, because it gets real scary. And here you see that I live the EQ nicely, go for the rest, and I'm going to get back to full. And I'm just going to keep Sleep Talking until I'm able to take out this Golurk. It's at max HP, but there's probably no chance in the world even being fully special defensive or anything of the sort, which would be a weird set, of course. But just living in Dark Pulse at this range is not going to happen. Of course I get the rest here, and as you can tell he does a little over 100 HP this time, so yes, once again min-max. And he's going to go for the EQ again, of course. He's just trying to do as much damage as possible. As you can tell, I'm at 100 HP right now, and it did about that the first EQ, But luckily I'm not going to need to take another EQ from this Golurk because I'm actually going to get the Dark Pulse on the Sleep Talk rolls, and he's going to go down easy. So I've had 2 turns of rest thus far, and so I'm able to go for the rest the next turn in case I'm scared of the amount of damage it's going to do to me. I do see he brings an Electros, and it is a T-Bolt. Turns out it's Life Orb, and thankfully I do go for the rest. I'm going to get back to max HP, and that does do a decent amount of damage for me having like +3 or +4 from all these Calm Minds. But once again, with these Sleep Talk shenanigans, I should be able to wither this guy down. As you can tell, it does less than 100 HP, not worried one bit. If he crits me, sure, I'm gonna get scared, but I'm fine right now. I get another Calm Mind, so I'm just getting more and more powerful, and this Electros just isn't standing a chance right now. All he has to do is hope for a crit. That is his only option. He goes for the Giga Drain, which does diddly. So I'm in a great position, honestly. I could probably sweep the rest of his team, barring any hacks. Gonna go for the Dark Pulse. Let's see how much damage it does. It is an offensive Electros, and it just straight up takes it out. No worries. So I'm almost at full health, actually. I have like 2/3, maybe 3/4. I'm gonna bring the Galvantula. Sure, our Thunder's going to do a decent round, I guess, but I'm at like +4, so it won't do too much. Oh, you crit me. I guess that's cool too. I'm going to bring in Rhydon, hope that he's choiced in some form, and I'm going to go for the EQ, Rock Blast, Stealth Rock, but I'm still a bit nervous of this Galvantula not being choiced, maybe being Expert Belt, so I'm going to switch out to Amoonguss to potentially take a Giga Drain, but he does switch out, which confirms to me that it's probably Specs or Scarf. Probably Scarf because that's pretty standard, but now it goes to the Seismic Toss on my Amoonguss, which is not going to do too much, of course, since it's 100 HP, and my Amoonguss is pretty bulky. So now I can go back to Rhydon and try threatening him out. The problem is I don't have Braviary, so I can't superpower this thing, and so taking out this Clefable is not going to be fun. He brings in Galvantula now, actually, and I am going to go into my Rhydon. As I said, I can go for the Rock Blast, but if he has Giga Drain, this is not a good position for me. Either way, Amoonguss is a great counter to this Galvantula. I do have the HP Fire, I believe, and I should be doing a decent amount of damage to that Galvantula since it's rather frail. Actually, it has the Energy Ball, so that's kind of interesting. But now, he does switch out, he goes back into his Clefable, and I just need to learn when to predict this Clefable coming in, because it could be very risky, because if I lose my Rhydon, this is not going to be looking good for me. So I'm at nearly max HP with my Amoonguss, so I'm doing really well there, but now I have to bring in my Rhydon, and I just have to predict a lot around this guy, because he does have Wish, so he could support his Galvantula pretty well, actually. So, I have an opportunity here to go for my rocks, because it will be nice to wither away that Galvantula, but right now I'm going to go for the EQ to see how much it does. And Rhydon does an amazing amount of damage with this EQ here, able to probably a KO that Clefable, especially from that range. So I'm going to go for the EQ again, and it does take out the Clefable, which is really nice, because I'm pretty sure all he has left is his Galvantula. And so I'm going to go right into my Amoonguss, take whatever it has to offer. He has to lock himself into something, and it turns out he's going to go for the Bug Buzz, which definitely makes sense. So my Amoonguss takes it alright, but it's probably a 2 KO from this range, so if need be, I could switch out, but I do carry the Spore, so I'm going to be able to put it to sleep, go for some HP Fires, and if I'm feeling really safe, I can switch out, get that Regenerator going, and I can just come back in when I feel safe. Maybe I could just sack my Rhydon to take a Bug Buzz, and I can come back in with Amoonguss, take another Bug Buzz, and take him out. I go for the HP Fire, and it's a guaranteed to a KO. And in case I'm feeling really safe, I could go to Rhydon like I said, but thankfully he doesn't wake up. I can just go for the HP Fire, take out that Galvantula, and that will be the game. So I hope you all enjoyed. You don't mess with Calm Mind Spiritomb, that's for sure. Now thank you all for watching. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.